Good morning, everybody. Do you have your beverage of choice? Are you ready to make some cards? I've got three ideas for you. Let's see who shows up. I pulled out a set I hadn't used in a while. Um, I, I saw some one sheet wonder somebody did, and that spurred this card. So I get my inspiration from all over. I've even taken pictures in clothes store of um, clothing and go, ooh, and thought about, hey, Sharon, thought about cards and stamp sets I could use to make that. So you get your inspiration from everywhere. Hey, Barb. Um, Today's was, like I said, spurred or inspired, I should say, by a card I saw on Hey Sharon, um, another forum I'm on, another group I'm in, and it was a one sheet wonder. And I used her card or her colors for it because I liked it. Um, ooh, from England. Ooh, I hope you're warmer than we are. It's a little chilly today. Um, I did change it a little bit. She had used different leaves, and I used the leaves in the set. And then it needed a tiny accent type thing, and I went looking and found one in a set that I had that I liked. So this will be a fun card. I think I like my stepped up version better than my wow. Maybe the wow will grow on me. So it just, sometimes I like the stepped up. Sometimes I like the clean and simple, and sometimes I like the wow. So I never know what I'm going to like until I see it completed, all three completed, and look at them. Let's see what's going on. Not a lot. Hey, Sharon. Hi, Marty. Oh, sunny Florida. We're sunny here too, but it's chilly. Is it chilly in Florida, Marty? Oh, thanks, Marty, for sharing. Um, I don't know where I was going with this. Who knows? Uh, well, I still have some pink. I don't know if you can see. It's still in there. So, you can see it a little bit. So that's, let's see, I did it Thursday night, Friday, Saturday. That's 2 days that it's, and two hair washings that it's lasted. So there's another idea for your ink pads. Who would have thought you could dye your hair with it? I can't wait to try a blue because when I put color in my hair, the hair dye, the pink lasts the longest. The blue didn't last as long. So I want to see if I can use the blue and see if it will last longer. I thought this would have been gone today, so I could have tried the blue, but it didn't. It's still there, so we'll find out. Maybe I'll next week try the blue and see what happens. Somebody suggested using a re-inker, that it might give a more brighter color. I think the problem is a lot of my highlights are gone, and it does better on the highlights rather than the hair color. So we'll see. Um, yeah, Marty, it was pretty funny me trying to do it because I don't know if you guys know it, but when I look at myself on my computer, it's backwards. So I'm trying to do this, and oh my gosh, it was so funny. So we'll try the blue next and see how it does, but it's a lot cheaper than paying a salon to do it. And if it lasts a week or even 3 days, 4 days, it's fine with me because it was free. And that way I can change my color more often. I want to try purple, so I will be trying different colors. I have to tell you, I get in phases like this where I have to make a change in some form. Usually when I was in Maryland and I went home, or when I went to my hairdresser, I would say, all right, I need a change. Hey, Sharon. And she would say, now, Robbie, you know you can't do this with your hair, because I can't. Hi, Pamela. It's very fine and thin. Well, the strand is thin. I have a lot of hair, but there's no body. So, you know, I would take things into her, oh, Marty, it was a riot. We had a blast, and I was so excited that it worked, and I'm so excited that there's still pink in there. I don't know how much you can still see. Let me see if I move a little closer. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better up in here still. See, I'm still trying to do it backwards. Nope, wrong way. See? But so I like putting different colors in my hair and having fun. Um, so I just play around, and it's a cheap, inexpensive way to have some fun. And this COVID thing and lockdown, boy, you need to do it. All right, I hope you have your beverage of choice and you're ready to sit back and watch. I'm going to get ready and switch down to my card. I'm going to take one more drink and get this off my table because I will knock it over. And I don't want to ruin my card. All right, so let me switch to hand view. There's the card that we're going to make first. This is the clean and simple card. All right, for this card, I chose the Timeless Tulips, and I'm going to use this image because it matches the punch, and this leaf because it matches the punch. And then I chose Happy Birthday to go with this because I need some birthday cards. But I'm going to pull out my, what do you call this? Mask. I can't think. And I threw the others in the trash because they would not stick anymore. So I'm a little short on that. Let me make another mask real quick. So I have two. All right, it won't take me long. And I use two colors. I'll show you now. If you're wondering what this is Avery ID labels, removable ID labels, and they're in an 8.5 by 11 sheet, I think is what it is. And this is so much nicer than the Post-it notes because you can use these over and over and it doesn't bleed through. When it starts to bleed through, you've used this up that it's not worth saving anyway. So I'm going to cut this out real quick so I have a second one. I needed a filler, so to speak. So I went looking. There wasn't anything in the Timeless Tulips, and I went looking for some kind of little tiny stick thing. And I found one in Bloom and Grow. It's this one right here. Hey, Linda. All right, so that's what I'm using. And now the hardest part of this, since there is a, what do you call it, a cut in it where you can take it, the backing off. These, when you do it this way, you don't get one. So what I do is I take my pokey tool, I get it started, and then pull it off that way. So let me move this up here. Oh, and you know what? I forgot my water. So let me get my water. I was sitting here with everything with that. And I need that because I'm using two colors. Now I will tell you, I took and I inked up my Rich Razzleberry stamp or stamp pad. So it may be a little darker than this one, but that's okay. All right, so for my colors, I'm going to use Cherry Cobbler, Rich Razzleberry, and then Old Olive for the ink. So I'm going to start with my Cherry Cobbler. All right, I'm going to set that up there. And I'm going to ink this up. And then down here in this corner, I'm going to stamp it, and I'm going to leave it a few seconds for the ink to transfer. I don't have a pad under this, so you want to give it a little bit of time for the ink to transfer to your cardstock. And now I want that other one behind it. So what I'm going to take and do, and this one I think I punched out, so it's a little bit bigger, so I move it to get it to work. And now I'm going to take my rich raspberry. Right, I have a towel here to dry it off after I clean it. Right, I'm going to take my rich raspberry, and I'm not going to press too hard. And I'm going to stamp it like so. All right, a little bit darker, but not a whole lot. And I'm going to remove my mask, and see, this one's a little bit bigger, so I have to be careful with that. I didn't notice that it was too far down, but that's how that is. So what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to fix that. I'm going to take a blender pen. Let me grab one real quick from over here. And I'm going to pick up some ink. I'm just going to kind of fill it in so it's not as noticeable. Oh. If I kind of squiggle it out, it's a little bit better. So I filled it in a little bit. All right. Now what I'm going to take and do is I need to add my leaves and my sprigs. I don't know what else you call them. So I'm going to put my masks back on, like so. And my leaves are the old olive, so I'm going to pull those out. And I did switch my leaves up. I'm going to stamp that first one up there. And then this one I kind of angled down further. Now when you do this, make sure you don't go past where your mask is. And then for the other side, what I did was I flipped it around and stamped it out so that I got just a little bit different leaf. Now for my sprigs, I decided to use the rich raspberry. So I'm going to stamp those like so. And then I put another one down here. And when you do this, make sure you stick your stem onto your mask so that you have it, you don't have that stem up in the air. All right, got those done. Now I'm going to take, and I'm going to use the skinny end and fill this in, because that one was hidden behind. I'm going to use the marker and just color those bobbles in. I don't know what else you'd call them. So I'm coloring it in like so. All right, and I don't worry if there's a little bit of white showing. In nature, nothing is perfect, so you have the white also. Now I'm going to take my happy birthday, and I decided to use my cherry cobbler, make sure my card is straight, to stamp my happy birthday. And there's my clean and simple card. All right. To step it up, I went from this to this. So I added a layer and I punched out my images, stamped them and punched them out. Now, I will tell you, I've already done the stamping and punching because it just saves some time. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my flowers together so I know kind of where to stamp my sprig. I don't know what else to call it but a sprig. So I'm going to take glue dots, because I love my glue dots, and I'm going to add a glue dot to the bottom. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to stick that one on. Then I'm going to take another one and another glue dot, and I'm going to stick that one on like so. So I've got that one. Then I want to do the other side, and I'm going to, the other flower, I'm going to flip it so that I have that other end of the leaf, just for some interest. So I'm going to put a glue dot on it. All right. And I'm going to stick that one right about there, like so. So I have my flowers done. What I'm going to do is just going to kind of place them where I think I want them. Pull them down just a little bit. I'm going to take my sprig, and again, I'm using the rich razzleberry, and I'm going to put one right about there. All right. I inked that up, but it doesn't look like I did it. I'm going to put another one right about there, and I'm just going to turn it at an angle, and then I've got to get the other side. So I want to see about where to put it. So it's right about there. All right, so I have my sprigs in. I'm going to go ahead and color them in because it's a lot easier to color them in than before you put your flowers on than after. I forgot to color them in when I made that one, and I had to go back in and color some of them in. Oh man, that was a mess. So I colored them in first this time. Right. So I've got those. Now, these I'm going to put on with dimensionals. Pop dots, foam dots, whatever you want to call them. Okay, I'm going to put that down and this. And then I'm going to do this one the same way. And I'm putting quite a few dimensionals on the back only because I want to make sure it stays popped up. There. Now I'm going to take my, oh, you know what I'm going to do? Before I do that, I'm going to put this piece on piece of cherry cobbler. Now all my dimensionals will be posted when this is over. It's just easier to post it afterwards than for me, shoot, that one's empty, trying to remember all the dimensions. And that way it's written down and you have them. You don't have to worry about trying to find them afterwards. Because maybe you're going to find, oh, I could use this set for it. So check your stash, see what you've got. See if you can use some of your own. Card base is still the white. So, all right, now this goes on here. And this card, we'll add the flowers, and this card is done. So, you can create great cards without having, you know, a lot of pieces to them. All right, time to get this one put on here. So let me do that, then I got to do my sentiment. I did not do my sentiment first because I want to see where I have the space, because sometimes you have to adjust. All right. Get these things off of here. All right, so now this one goes down first. And I want it at an angle, kind of. And I've got to be careful that my leaves, it's okay if they go off the white and the red, but it can't go past the card base itself, or you'll have problems getting it in your envelope. Okay, and then this one, I'm going to move. I got to adjust this to get it to work. There. I had to play with it because my stems, I didn't want them hung in the air. Now, see, I can put my sentiment up here without any trouble. So I'm going to add my sentiment right up here, like so. All right. So there's the stepped up version. But if you want to wow, check it out. I added more layers and more flowers. So there's what we're going to work on this time. So I'm going to swap out my cards. All right. Again, I've got all my pieces punched, ready to go. So let me take and I'll add my leaves. Here's my glue dots. And because I have quite a few, I changed up. What I did for it was I created my flowers, laid them out the way I wanted, and then put my leaves on the back. Thanks, Marty. So that I would have the leaves in the right spot, because if not, you're not gonna have it straight. You're gonna have leaves where they shouldn't be and everything else. So, and again, I'm switching them around. I used the pointed end on this one and then the fatter end here, and I see I've got a mistake when I punch this out. So I'm gonna fix this real quick. It had a little cutout on the end, so I'm just gonna cut it so that it doesn't have that weird looking cutout. There we go. I must have overlapped when I punched. All right, so there's two leaves. I'm going to go back to this one. And this one goes up. It goes right about there. And then my last one goes on. Hey, Beverly. It's okay if you're late. If you're like me, half the time you forget. I was running late this morning, but I managed to get up here and get set up and ready to go. All right, I'm going to add this last leaf. All right, now this was the tricky part. Trying to get, all right, I don't want my flowers all going in the same direction. So I kind of did like this number. All right, let me find my sprigs. I'm going to go in the center, and I need one up here. I should have probably worked from the bottom. All right, that one goes right about there. And then I need, hey Judy, I need one right about here. Hey Linda, and I want another one over here. So as you can see what I'm doing, I'm just kind of, I laid my flowers out and then I'm determining where I need to put my sprigs. I know I need one down here. And this one, I know I'm going to need one in here. So I just kind of tried to fill in a little bit. And then this one is right about here. So I need one out here and one down here. All right. There. Now this one you have to adjust where you put the happy birthday, so I'm not going to do that one just yet. I also varied. Some of these are on dimensionals and some are flat. Like this one is flat, so I'm going to add some glue to the back of it and stick it down. And then, let's see. Angled just like, oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot. I need to color these in. Hi, Kathy. This would have been interesting trying to color all these in. And I know some of them aren't going to show, but I don't know which ones are and which ones aren't, so I'm just going to color them all in. All right. If you like my ideas and my cards I share, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. When you do, you get a tutorial for a free box, and each week I work with 3 other ladies, one from England and one from Australia, and we send out, thank you Kathy, tutorials. We're focusing on Celebration and the new catalog right now, so all our tutorials have to deal with that. All right, so there's that one. And then I'm going to do, this one is flat also, and then I'll do the ones that pop up. If you want to sign up for my newsletter, the form will be with the link will be on the, just stop and think, the post with the measurements for the card. So check it out. Sign up for my newsletter. I love sharing ideas and tips and tricks. I mean, I think we can all learn from each other. I mean, I've learned things from new stampers. So I love helping beginner stampers get started with it. Many times they say they can't. When I was doing in-home workshops before COVID, I had ladies come, I can't do that, I can't do that, and we would walk through one card at a time, one step at a time. They would create their card, and when it was all over with, they stood back. I couldn't get them to move on to the next card. They were admiring the card that they'd created so much. So, you know, anybody can learn to stamp. You just can't compare yourself to other stampers because, you know, we all started, I've got 20 years behind me of stamping, and, you know, when a newbie comes in and compares themselves to somebody who's been stamping for a while, it gets very discouraging, and I say, you can do this, you can do it, and you can. So, hey Ruthie, which one is this? This is this one. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm covering up. And see, that one doesn't show much, but it's okay. I'm covering up all those open spaces. I've got to angle this one more. And it's okay if it overlaps each other. So there's that one. Let's put our sentiment on. Hey Tammy. Hey Ruth. Oh, lots of people coming in. Okay, so there's that. And I'm going to move my sentiment. I think I'm going to put it here. And reason being is it's really going to draw your eye to that image that we've created. So there's that. Now this time to step it up, I decided to use some more layers. So my first layer is still the red. And I'm going to add this to the back with the glue. Okay. And then I wanted, and this is just a slight border. It's about 1/8 of an inch. And I like the glue. Thanks, Ruth. I like the glue because if you get it off a little bit, you can wiggle it. I'm going to add this to a green piece. I think this would be very pretty in red and yellow, especially for spring because we see so many red and yellow tulips. Okay, so we've got that. Hey Lisa, my card base is still the same. I kept it with the white. It was just easier. So this I'm going to add to here. Marty, I'm like you. I love new ideas. And I love taking what I already have and using that in new and fun ways. I know money is tight for a lot of people right now. Many people are still struggling to get food on the table and things like that. Thanks, Carol. All right, so that's what I did, and I thought it needs something. I've got to have my bling. So I pulled out some rhinestones, and I'm going to add my rhinestones on. And remember, when you add, thanks, Barb, your rhinestones or any kind of embellishment, make sure you go in odd numbers. Okay, this one is going to go here. And when you do, stagger them. Don't put them in a row or a line. I have to be careful with that. I get so excited about putting them on, I don't pay attention sometimes. I'm going to go over here, and then one more. Okay, so I'm going to put that one right about there. And there it is with some bling. Hey, Costa. Hey, Santa. I feel like I'm talking to Santa Claus. Santa, that's kind of cool. Unless I'm saying it wrong. If I am, I truly apologize. Hey, Sue. All right, so we went from clean and simple to stepped up to a wow card. Now you can very easily take the double matte and put it on this one if you don't want all of the flowers. But that's it. It just was stamping and punching, and that stamp set has a coordinating punch that punches out this flower and the leaf. So, I mean, it's a great set to get. Thanks for all the hearts, guys. I love it. There we go. Let me put my masks back in. And don't forget that hint I gave you about the masks. Pick yourself up some of that. Let me get the container and show you. I don't know if I got mine on Amazon or if I got mine on from Staples. Thanks, Sharon. So, but there it is. Avery removable labels, 8.5 by 11, and then you just cut it up and use it as you see fit. You can punch this and you can die cut it, but usually they have a white space around, see, and when you punch it, that's what you're going to get. So stamp it, cut it out, and when you cut it out, cut on the line. When I cut this one out, this one that I did this morning, I cut this one on the line. So then you don't have that overlap. And I've had trouble with Post-it notes leaving, where's the one I did this morning that had the mistake to it? Leaving an edge like this, you can't get close. And if you use, if you look at this one where I use the other, the removable label one, it's right up to the edge. So I don't know why it works better than the Post-it notes, but it does. So keep that in mind. But there it is, clean and simple, stepped up, and wow. And like I said, I think this would be very pretty in red and yellow for spring colors. And what a great birthday card. Who wouldn't love to get one of these? I know I would. It's so fun to get happy mail. But there it is. Okay. Oh, you're quite welcome, Marty. Let me grab my beverage. I'm going to switch back to my face view. And so does everybody have some fun plans today? Are you going to take some time and be creative? Ooh, yellow and purple. Ooh, yes, Beverly. I like that idea. You too, Marty. Have a great weekend. hopefully I don't think we're going to get rain till Monday morning, so it should be a nice weekend. It's going to be chilly tomorrow though, so cold. So, but I had a great time showing you these things. I would say I had a hard time figuring out which stamp set to use. And then I just started looking at all my stamp sets, and I chose to use the tulips because I hadn't used that in a while. And, it's easy to make a clean and simple card. Add a layer, punch it out to step it up. Add another layer and more punches, and you've got a great card. Wow card. So 3 cards, 1 stamp set. All the same layout too. The flowers are all over on the left and the sentiments on the right. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for my newsletter and you like ideas and you like my cards I share, sign up for my newsletter. The link will be in the post that comes up with all the measurements for today's card. It'll be at the bottom, and you can click on it and sign up for my newsletter and get a free tutorial. And each week I send out a newsletter with all my classes and updates on things and another tutorial. So lots of ideas, lots of clean and simple cards, and we just love sharing. So I would love to have you sign up for my newsletter. All right, ladies, it is after 7. Aw, thanks, Beverly. I'm going to get ready and go. I've got to get things going and get some things done. I have about 20-some calendars to finish getting made. I'm sending one out to all of my customers, and I've got to get those done so I can get them in the mail. I'm working on my sketch of the month for February. I got one more card to do for that. And I've got to get my last tutorial made for my 3D item for my newsletter. I've already shared my basic card, and I want to get this one done because it's a Valentine idea. So I got to get that finished, so I'll be working on that. Okay, ladies, have a great weekend. Don't forget, Monday, Stamp Along Zoom, a Zoom Stamp Along. I'll put the link in here. Click on it. Come in. Bring your supplies. We stamp. If you have questions, you want opinions or need some advice, we willingly share ideas and show you different ways to use things, and we're all crafting. I share what I'm making, and others share what they make, but it's just a fun time for a couple of hours. All right, guys, I will see you Monday or next Saturday, whichever it is. Bye.